welcome to my Flagstaff home. I have to do a quick video for you to show you what I made for dinner last night. It was a variation of a recipe that I got from a magazine that Martha Stewart used to put out called Everyday Food. It was a little tiny kind of a cookbook magazine, and this has been one of my favorites. Super easy. You can still get the recipe online, so I will link the recipe in the space below, but thought I would just take you through the steps of making this really easy, meatless dinner, and very tasty too. So anyway, it is a broccoli, red bell pepper, portobello mushroom, Gouda cheese melt. So I'll go ahead and show you. So I cut this recipe in half since there's only two of us. And so what I have here for the recipe is a really small crown of broccoli that I cut up into small pieces. I also have one red bell pepper, which I sliced up and removed the seeds. And also the recipe calls for portobello mushrooms that you slice up. I got some pre-sliced baby portobello mushrooms. The recipe also calls for making here, it's 1/8 of a cup of mayonnaise with a little bit of minced or crushed garlic. I used some out of a jar. Seasoned with salt and pepper. You kind of mix that up, and I just have it sitting in the refrigerator for now. And then there's some sliced Gouda cheese and it calls for some thick country bread, but I'm just using some pre-sliced sourdough bread, and I'm doing that just because I don't want to have a whole lot of starch in this whole thing. So the first thing I do with this is I set the oven to on broil, a high broil, and then I have tossed the broccoli with a little bit of olive oil and put it on a foil covered cookie sheet. I'm going to put that under the broiler about 4 inches away from the flame, and then that is going to stay under there for a few minutes until the broccoli starts to char. So broiling the broccoli took about 6 minutes, and halfway through I took it out and kind of just tossed it around a little bit. Now I've mixed in the red bell pepper and the portobello mushrooms. I seasoned it with a little bit of salt and pepper, tossed it around, and it's going to go under the broiler for another 8 to 10 minutes. So while those vegetables are broiling, what I've done here is I've taken my bread. Now if you get something like a French bread or whatever, you can just cut individual slices. This was pre-sliced sourdough bread, and so I cut each one in half on the diagonal, and then I put a light spread of that mayonnaise mixed with garlic and salt and pepper and spread that right over the top. So I actually threw away the foil that was on the cookie sheet because it was wet with the stuff from the vegetables, and I put a new sheet of foil down on the cookie sheet. Put the bread pieces on there. I've piled the cooked vegetables on top of each slice of bread and then topped it with a little bit of Gouda cheese, some very thin slices of Gouda cheese, and I'm going to put it back under the broiler for about 2 to 4 minutes, and that's all there is to it. So that ended up being about 3 minutes under the broiler, and the cheese is all melted. The vegetables got a little bit more cooked, and the bread is toasty, and so now I'm just going to serve this up with a little side of coleslaw, and we'll have a really nice little meatless meal for dinner. Doesn't that look good? And it was good. We had that last night for dinner, and it's so yummy. I actually haven't made this recipe in a while, and just reminded myself once again how much I really enjoyed that recipe. So hopefully you'll give it a try, and I hope you like it too. I'll be back on my Flagstaff home with more videos, so we'll see you again. Please subscribe. Bye-bye.